Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel where it is all about racing. Today we're going to take a look at a rather cool TSM model in 1/43 scale of the 1995 McLaren F1 GTR, famous for its overall victory at the 1995 24 Hours of Lemans. However, this car, 24 car, was not that one. Now this Hachette model, made by Spark, was the number 59 car, the one that did win Le Mans in 1995. But in this episode, we're not going to talk about this car. I have reviewed it already. TSM make excellent resin models, every bit as good as Spark, sometimes even better, and sometimes not. One thing they do come with, typically, is this absolutely gorgeous, what they call a showroom base, and I think that's exactly what it is. It's plastic. It's usually white, oversized and really nicely done. It's got a felt underside, which is really, it feels good to the touch, and it's very supportive. It does come in a slip case that is rather, let me just say, not really attractive. Those that have exclusive IMSA licensing usually have IMSA on the inside, what I call the autograph card on the inside of here. This is not one of those models, as it's a 24-hour Le Mans model. Now guys, this is what I call the autograph card. These are cards that can be pulled out of TSM models, Spark cars as well. It's usually attached to the inside of the base. It easily pulls out and you can use it to get autographs if you don't want to autograph the jewel case, the box, or the car itself, which I personally would never do. Now, this amazing car was developed by McLaren's Gordon Murray and BMW engine designer Paul Roche. McLaren's Gordon Murray saw the F1 as the ultimate road car with no intention to take it racing, with many technologies and designs as such. Now, team manager and driver Ray Bellm of this number 24 car and Thomas Becher convinced Murray to offer factory-backed racing versions for the new 1994 BPR Global GT Series, and thus this amazing car was born. Now, an unused chassis saw nominal modifications to the racing car. Weight was reduced and restrictions limited the car to around 592 horsepower, less than the road car. But the car had enough downforce to run along the ceiling at 100 miles per hour. A total of 9 chassis will be built for racing. One will be used for testing. The other was sold to the Sultan of Brunei, Hassani Bolkiah, hope I got that right, for his personal collection. Wouldn't you love to have one of those? As far as technical specifications, the chassis was carbon fiber monocoque. The suspension, revised Mclaren, double wishbone. The engine, as mentioned previously, was a BMW S70-2 6,064cc naturally aspirated rear-mounted V12. And for those of you in Europe that may have seen models at historic races and have heard it, or for those of you who are old enough to remember this thing running, I would love to be one of you, because I would certainly love to hear this car. I'm sure it sounded absolutely amazing. Now, over the 120 plus races that the various entries would enter in, they would win 30, including the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans, as we mentioned previously. Now, this particular car, the Gulf liveried model, as is mentioned on the front of this base, would finish 4th in the 1995 24 Hours of Le Mans. And one thing that I really like about TSM models is that, these bases are just absolutely amazing. And as you know, I do not take models off their bases. So I consider basis and packaging to be a premium for these kind of cars and absolutely appreciate them. This one is no exception. The drivers that you can see there are Martin Brundle from the UK, Ray Bellm of the UK, and Maurizio Sandro Sala of Brazil. Now, one look at the front of this car, and you'd think it was a Spark or a TSM or an HPI. They all make fantastic cars. This one would be no exception. It is absolutely gorgeous to every detail, including the photo-etched grills, the very, very small tow hook, the excellent representation of the headlights, the louvers over the wheel arch, the ports in the front hood, and even look at the windshield wiper and arm. Just absolutely beautifully and amazingly done. One thing you also notice from here, in addition to this absolutely massive blue front dash, is the center-mounted steering wheel. Yes, this is not a right-hand or a left-handed car. This is a center-mounted driving car. much like Formula One cars. Now, TSM do a lot of things really, really well. The wheel detail, I think, are really spectacular. I love the orange wheels. Check out that center lug nut, how tight and precise that looks. You even have a marking on one of the spokes as well as to where the air valve is. You've got Michelin tires. Very nicely done. All the decaling, the number, even the handle for the door are beautifully done. If you can look inside of it, you can see some of the frame detail. You've got on the B-pillar a little window here. They've got little air outlets. There's a massive grill over here on this side, which I do not know why is not on the other side. I'm going to call this the right side and the other the left, because this is a center drive car, as I recall. You've got a really nicely done and very, very dainty aerial, something that can easily be broken if you play around with these things or move them from their bases, which again, as you know, I don't do. Sadly, the engine cover although it is clear, does not cover the engine. There may be reasons for that. I'm not sure what they are. Notice how it says BMW of Great Britain. You've got Gulf on the rear wing. If you take a look at the rear of the car, it is really quite exceptional. Everything you would expect from TSM. Nicely done diffuser. Look at the 4 exhaust outputs. Really cool. The toe hook right in the middle. The acrylic lights are really nicely done. You can see the McLaren logo on it, as well as Michelin and Gulf. I mean, absolutely spectacularly done. Really, really sharp car. Notice how easily this turns. You don't hear it screeching because it's got that felt bottom, as I had mentioned. And I'll flip it over. You can take a look and you can see it. It is really nice to the touch. Absolutely spectacular. Guys, it's a beautiful model. A really cool car. I absolutely love... It looks black. Some would say maybe it's dark blue. I think it's more black with the gray and the orange highlights on it. And the orange really does stand out. Absolutely spectacular car. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you next time.